All right, deer season, day 2, 5:30. Let's get at it. That's 12 partridge in 2 days. So just a quick note, yesterday I actually had people emailing me saying, how can you shoot these beautiful creatures? Guys, on this channel we hunt. I don't make any apologies for that. We are not trophy hunters, we are food hunters. My question to you, if you eat meat, is how can you have somebody else kill your food? Get your own hands dirty, do the work yourself. I know where my food comes from. That's out here. Deer, moose, bear, fish. Yeah, I buy groceries too. We grew up on the farm, and slaughtering animals was an every year thing, right? And the farmer is doing that for multitudes of people who have never worked for their food, or people who have never spent a day in the bush hunting or tracking, humping 12 miles over a hill with a 40-pound pack, trying to get that deer for your winter food. So that's why we hunt, guys. It's pretty obvious to me why we do it. Like I say, I don't trophy hunt. Anything I shoot, I eat. When I was a kid, I shot a squirrel and I shot a blue jay. And my old man made me and my brother eat said squirrel and said blue jay. And that was the lesson. If you kill it, you eat it. These real tight little cedar swamps that you can't see very far, that's where the big bucks like to hang out. I prefer to shoot a buck. We get more meat, and you leave the does because, of course, they're having the babies, right? You have one buck can service a whole herd of does, but if you wipe out the does, you don't have any more young ones for next year. So, common sense hunting. So I also want to clarify, I guess we get a lot of new people and the question keeps coming up. And I talked about tracks and physical evidence yesterday, not finding things here when there's snow on the ground in terms of Bigfoot. I believe Bigfoot to be a physical blood, bone, muscle creature, okay? Something that is alive, breathing, doesn't teleport, doesn't come from another dimension, doesn't do mind speak. I believe that if it is a real thing, it is some kind of hominid, prehistoric, different evolutionary path than human, Gigantopithecus, something like that, great ape family, something like that. I don't know, but I think it's physical. And That's what I'm referring to when I say it astounds me that we don't find prints and things, okay? I'm not saying that there aren't forest spirits and paranormal things. We catch a lot of that on the channel. I think that's something different. I think that is an entirely different field of study that needs to be looked at. The natives talk about forest spirits. I absolutely believe there are forest spirits. We've got EVPs. We've got, and I mean not just with the spirit box. I mean while doing recordings on the camcorder and things like that. We've caught in a couple whispered voices. Freaks me out. My security cameras at home all the time. It even freaks me out more when it's in the bush because we're not connected to internet. We're not connected to any of these things, and it's still being recorded. So I think that's a different phenomena. So just to clarify, Gary thinks Bigfoot is a flesh and blood creature, okay? And that's what I'm trying to do is find physical evidence of a physical creature. Here's one I noticed from way back over there. There's 4 loops right here. 5 loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then another one right, a little one right there. 5. All looped under the top of that one tree. So there's actually 6 looped under here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then around the back is number 6 right there. 6 trees all looped underneath the top of this spruce, which came from up here. What are the chances that it caught all of those from as far away as over here? It seems odd to me. Like, these are pretty far away. They're 12 feet away from where that tree fell. It just looks abnormal to me. So I'm just coming out of the deep cedar swamp back there. I haven't seen a track this morning, but I had a thought. I was wearing my electronic earmuffs, which amplify sound, but they also cut off if there's a loud sound like a gunshot. So it protects your hearing. And I have a bad ear. I had surgery on it. Long story. I've mentioned it before. I wear these to protect what hearing I have left in that ear. But I had a thought. These are electronic earmuffs. Could you hear an EVP through these things? Right? It would be just like an electronic recording, except it's not being recorded. As I was sitting there quietly listening for 20 minutes, I thought, that would freak me the hell out right now if I got an EVP out here in the middle of the swamp. It didn't happen, but now I'm thinking about it. Finally, I'm on a track. You can see where they were rooting for acorns here. I couldn't find where the track went. Look at this. He jumped that log. And there goes the track in the snow down there. That's 4.5 feet up. So someone's built a little ground blind here in a really good spot too. There's water right down here, and it's got a natural valley. Comes right down to the water, and then there's a big hardwood hill all behind it. So we're on crown land right here, which means it's not private property. And if you build a ground blind or a tree stand, you're entitled to use that for 1 day. After that, you don't own it. Anyone can come and use your stand. That's how it works here in Canada. So I don't hunt our own private land unless it's a last resort. If we have tags left to fill, I like to keep my deer as pets, and I never hunt at my house. We have other properties that we use. So out here, I don't build stands because you'll come back 2 days later and some jerk's in your stand. And he has the right to do that because you don't own it. You're on crown land. So I prefer just to pick a nice side hill with a great view and maybe a nice stump or a rock to sit on, and I'll sit there all afternoon, and that's my spot. I just looked in this little ground blind here. It's not a ground blind. I'll show you. They built an outhouse. So they must have had a camp here, maybe in the clearing up in here behind, I'm not sure. So if you guys will excuse me for a minute, I've got some business to take care of. We do come across little ground blinds like that all the time, and that's exactly what that looked like, where they just put a bit of opaque plastic so that you can see out through little slits, but the deer can't see you. That's what it looked like, but no. Yeah, there's a big clearing coming up in front of me here, so these guys probably had a camp in here before. There's nothing here now, but years gone by. I also had a couple of American friends asking about pricing for hunting here. We buy a small game license, which entitles, rabbits, pheasants, partridge, $50 for 3 years, okay? You got to pay for a migratory bird license on top of that, $15 a year, depending on whether it's geese or ducks or whatever you want. Then to hunt your big game animals, you're looking at, it used to be $56 for moose to put in, and they put you in for a draw. So you have a chance, and they would automatically give you a calf tag, so you could always hunt no matter what. Now they're changing the system so that you're going to pay $15 to put in for a license. If you get a license, you then have to pay $200 for an adult tag. So your group would split that. I hunt in a group of 4 most of the time, so it would cost us about the same as it does right now, but we would have a tag. This system is going to be a better system. It's going to enable more tags. They're also going to keep track of how many years in a row you put in for a tag, so you get a better chance the more years you put in. Right now in my adult life, I've put in for moose 25 years out of 30 some that I've been hunting. I've gotten 2 tags, so it's not a very good system right now. Dad was cold. That's why we came back to the truck. I could have went for days.
My great uncle was a black watch sniper. I still got the blood in my veins. I don't leave.
It's cold. Temperature's dropping. Snowing hard. Not very much fun right now.
Tomorrow I'm wearing my shorts and sandals.
It's supposed to go up to 12 tomorrow. This is it right here, the end of the day setup. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to look down this old trail for the next hour and a half. That's it. I'm done. I'm frozen. Nothing moving. Cold. Day 2 ends. No deer.